We've taken our kids out of school for holidays. We went to Turkey for 2 weeks. I've had 2 letters land on my doorstep.
It's only £80 if I pay quite quick. Parents are struggling at the minute with the cost of living, just trying to keep themselves afloat, trying to make sure...
Welcome back to Common Sense Lab, where we break down the real world issues people are going through with actual data, not just feelings. You know what used to be a normal family memory, a holiday, a break, a bit of joy. But in the UK, that memory can cost you a court date, a criminal record, or a £640 fine, because the state has decided that parents taking their kids on holiday is now a crime. Apparently, the only learning that counts happens within 4 specific walls during specific hours. Let's walk through the absurdity.
So some of you probably already know we've taken our kids out of school for holiday for 2 weeks. And whilst we were away, we couldn't do the daily absence thing to say, our kids are off school for whatever reason. But, nevertheless, they've now seen the children back in school. They know they're safe, they're well, they're happy. They're doing really well anyway in terms of their education and academics. So I don't feel guilty about taking them out because it hasn't suffered as a result of going on holiday. If anything, it's probably improved. We've been travelling for 2 years. They've seen lots of things. They're like sponges. They take it all in. So we went to Turkey for 2 weeks. They've, looked at Turkish history and stuff like that as well. They've taken in the culture, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, all that aside, I've been naughty. I've taken them out in term time. I probably shouldn't have, because now I've come back and I've had 2 letters land on my doorstep. So the first one was sort of threatening with early help, saying that they needed to come and visit and make sure that the children were okay. They're in school now, so they can see they're perfectly fine. And when they've quitted the children, they know that they've actually been away on Turkey on holiday. No big deal, right? I've come home today. I've got another letter now, basically threatening safeguarding. So it's a bit rude. They're sort of suggesting that I'm not a capable parent now because I've taken them out of school. So not only are we getting fined because we're taking them out, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. If you're going to fine me, you're going to fine me. That's no worries. That's my fault. I shouldn't have taken them out in term time. I get it. No worries. But now to say there's something wrong with them and that we need to schedule a meeting now to check. And I'm like, hang on a second. The children are actually in school. You can see them. That doesn't make sense to me. But there you go. So if you're thinking, you might just get a fine, actually, it looks like it's got a little bit more serious than that, because I'm being threatened now under the Education Act 1996, which is just marvellous.
Let's stop there. She took her kids to Turkey. They studied the culture, read up on the history, bonded as a family. And what did she come home to? Safeguarding threats. Forget about education policy. This is a masterclass in state-sanctioned intimidation.
Right, it's time to stop burying my head in the sand. I took my daughter on holiday last month. This letter came a few days ago, and I've just been ignoring it because I just don't want to see the damage, to be honest. But so let's have a look. The absence has not been authorised. They think they have more authority over my own daughter than me as her mother. It gets better. I must warn you that failure to ensure your child's regular attendance at school is an offence. If the reason for your child's absence is not considered to be an exceptional circumstance, then I may request, without further warning, that the local authority take legal proceedings against you for failure to comply with the law. Parents with parental responsibility and adults residing with the child, including, for example, step-parents, may be fined. This applies for each child that is absent. The penalty amount is increasing to £160 from September 24, reduced to £80 if paid within 21 days for a first offence. If you receive a second penalty notice within a 3-year period following the first, the fine is £160 and there is no option to pay at a reduced rate. I have no words. This country is a fucking joke.
This is the system talking to you like you're a criminal, not a parent. Don't mistake their bureaucratic emails for a dialogue. It's a cold, hard warning. Here's a financial breakdown. £160 per child, times 2 for both parents, miss 1 week, pay £640, miss a second, same, third time, court appearance, possible jail time.
So I've received not one but 2 penalty notices for taking my child out of school during term time. Now the first one we actually booked before she moved counties, and in the new county, the holiday, we booked it for half term, but their half term was a week earlier, so therefore, you know, it was unavoidable. The second one was in Christmas period, so she missed a pantomime, she missed the school play which she was just singing in, so sorry if I ruined your chorus, and she missed the Christmas party. I gave her a choice. I said, what do you want to do? Do you want to do that, or do you want to go to Barcelona? And she wanted to come to Barcelona, so she came to Barcelona. Now, I've always said I'm fine with the fine. You know, give me a fine. I'm saving so much money. But the fact that now, if I get a 3rd penalty notice, it won't be a penalty notice. It will be a court appearance with up to 3 months jail time. Make that make sense.
So let's get this straight. Your kid misses a pantomime, or a school play, or perhaps a Tuesday morning circle time, and suddenly the state's handing out court dates like it's his Christmas cards. Make it make sense. Seriously, the priorities here are baffling. This mom works in hospitality, meaning school holidays are her personal hell, a time when she's absolutely chained to her job. Taking time off during half term isn't just not possible, it's a career-ending move. And she's not alone. Over 3 million UK workers are in jobs where school holiday leave is nearly impossible. They literally cannot afford to play by the system's rules.
Now, I've always worked in hospitality, so I don't have the option to take my kids out during Christmas period normally, or in any kind of school holidays, because I'm busy, I work in a tourist area, so, you know, that's the busiest time. So for me, it's non-negotiable. My kids have to go. Plus, I have diagnosed ADHD, and honestly, the crowds that you would get during a school holiday time, I just couldn't deal with. No other country does this, but for now I have 2 options because we do have 2 more holidays booked this year. You know, kids are not kids for very long. My 15-year-old now has got no interest coming on holiday with us. Took him to Orlando in July. He stayed in the room 90% of the time. So, you know, I'm going to make the most of taking my child away while I can, while she's still young, while she still wants to come, you know, and I'm not going to change my mind on that. So I have 2 options. I can either homeschool her, which is probably the route that I'm going to go down, or I can lie and say that she's poorly, which is not fair to my child to put that pressure on her to go back to school and have to lie about an illness. But I just feel like it's ridiculous in this country. So my son's school are currently taking their year 10s skiing. But if I did that, I can get a criminal record. I'm breaking the law. Make it make sense. My daughter's school, they're going on a residential trip down the road for 4 days in school time. Again, if I did it, I'm breaking the law. This country is an absolute arse, and I cannot wait to get the hell out of here.
Homeschooling or fraud? Yes, that's the choice UK policy is so generously offering parents. You can't afford the holiday prices during school breaks. You can't get time off work. So now, thanks to bureaucratic brilliance, you're forced to fake illness or outright break the law just to give your kids a basic human experience. And here's the kicker. My son's school is taking the kids skiing. My daughter's school is going on a residential during term time. So schools can do it, but if you do it, you're a criminal.
So I've just had my letter from the school cancelled about taking my children out of school a week before half term for a school fine. So it's only for my son because my daughter's not school age yet. And because it's a first offence, it's only £80 if I pay quite quick. And okay, so it's 160 altogether for the holiday. And in the grand scheme of things, I've saved £1,800 and we went on a nice holiday. So okay, whatever. But let's just say I do this again next year, and both my children are in school age, let's just say for argument's sake, it will be £160 per parent per child. That's £320, like 640 quid for like taking them out for a week for a holiday. And don't get me wrong, I would love to take them in half term. I would actually much prefer it, but I, like many parents, can't afford to take them in half terms because the travel companies charge 3 times the amount and 4 to 5 times the amount in summer holidays. And it just basically means we go in term time or we don't go at all. Like, parents are struggling at the minute with the cost of living, just trying to keep themselves afloat, trying to make sure the children have a nice childhood and get everything they need. And then you're just getting screwed over by the government system, the education system, by saying like, you know, you're not allowed to go on holiday. You're on a lower income. you're choosing to take your child on a holiday because you can't afford the half terms, but we're going to fine you. It's absolutely insane. And if you do it a third time, it goes straight up to £2.5 fine, a criminal record, and potentially prison for 3 months. So I don't know if anyone's gone prison and what the terminology would be for that criminal record. But they're just making you feel like you've done something really bad and you're just taking your children on holiday. I get attendance is important, but it's a holiday. And I know there's a petition going on at the minute to relax the rules for up to 10 days, I think, for taking children on holiday. But I'm not holding my breath. They've done this at the start of the year and I watched it on Parliament and they basically said attendance is important, so we're not doing it. But if any parent is being judged and going to get a criminal record for taking their children on holiday, there's something seriously wrong here.
Wait, let's break that down. You save £300 on the holiday, then the state charges you £640 for being financially strained. Let's be clear, this has nothing to do with education and everything to do with financially strangling working parents who can't afford to play by the upper middle class rules. We go in term time or we don't go at all. And that's the choice millions of families face. Meanwhile, ministers can afford to send their kids private schools with flexible calendars and £15,000 a year fees.
So it's finally arrived. It's taken a couple of months, but here is my court letter to say that I have been summoned because I'm charged with an offence in relation to my child's attendance at school. And my child did not secure regular attendance at school. Now, my child has got good attendance. She goes to school regularly. And the thing that really annoys me about this is there's no way to appeal the fines. We did have exceptional circumstances, but the school ruled that they weren't exceptional enough for them to allow my child to go out of school on a holiday. Anyway, the only way to actually appeal the fine is to go to court. And this letter says, if I plead guilty, then I will receive 33% discount. So they're scaremongering again, trying to scare you into pleading guilty so that you'll get a lesser fine. And then it says if you're found guilty, they will apply for costs of at least £203.60, obviously plus your fine. But I disagree with this, and I think that the more people that actually stand up and fight it, the more chance we've got of getting this absolute ridiculous rule abolished. And obviously, I've not paid the fine. I refuse to pay the fine for something that I believe is wrong. I don't feel like I have broken any law taking my child out of school, and therefore I will fight it, and I hope that more people will do the same of me.
So now it's a legal strategy. Force you into a guilty plea by promising a discounted fine if you comply. Don't plead guilty, you risk court costs, a criminal record, and public humiliation. This is how the system operates. Punish first, justify later. You want to appeal? Pay a lawyer. Go to court. Roll the dice. This is not a system that supports you. It's a legal and financial cartel-style ambush designed to make you give up. Let's zoom out a bit. We are made to understand that parents are being criminalized for doing what schools claim to want, creating engaged, well-rounded, emotionally supported kids right. But we as parents know that taking your child to see the world is educational as well. Letting them rest from the constant pressure is beneficial. Bonding with us as their parents can also be educational. But we live in a country where joy, time, and flexibility have become privileges, not rights. Attendance is important. That's the government's line. And yes, attendance is important. But so is living. So is family. So is basic human dignity. And maybe we need to say that louder. If you found this breakdown useful, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of people who want to understand what's really happening behind the headlines. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you seeing similar issues where you live? And let us know if these videos are representing your reality. At Common Sense Lab, we don't just react. We connect the dots, expose the patterns, and remind you the system isn't broken. It's functioning exactly how it was built, and that means it can be rebuilt.